All right, what's going on, party people? Let's be here, back at it. We got another one here. Get your plate. Now, this video here is going to be a little bit different from everything that I've been doing. Well, I mean, not different as far as the conversation in itself. I mean, because pretty much I talk about spirituality. So, welcome if this is your first time. If not, welcome back. You know what we do here. We talk about spirituality. Now, what I kind of like wanted to talk about today, it would be more on a general sense, like some basic understanding about a couple things that, I just wanted to share with you guys. Now, I often talk about the tree of good and evil and the tree of knowledge. But most importantly, knowledge is represented as a tree. And, not a lot of people understand why, because the thing you got to understand about a tree is that there are many different aspect or component to a tree. It's not necessarily the trunk or the roots of the tree that makes the tree. It's a combination of different things. So you look at the roots, the trunk, the branches, the fruit, you know, um, the leaves, and things like that. So in so many words, knowledge, that's what knowledge represents in your life. What actually, it sort of like goes into different aspect of yourself. That's what knowledge, that's how knowledge help you grow. You grow in so many different aspects. Do you see what I'm saying? As far as the roots, your core understanding, your emotions, your actions, all of that is based on knowledge. So knowledge is represented as a tree because there are many different components to it. And as we start to learn, or, as we're learning, and that's pretty much what knowledge does into our lives. So now, with that being said, then we have the knowledge of good and evil. Then we have the knowledge of life. Now, the part that I wanted to talk about today is the fruit of life. So, as we already talk about knowledge, which is the tree, how it affects you in many different aspects of your life, because the tree represents that. There's many different aspects of a tree, just like we talked about. And then I also talk about, the knowledge of life, the tree of life, knowledge of life. It's pretty much the same thing. Now, the tree of life pretty much represents the knowledge, the life lessons. Now, once you learn or when you nourish yourself from the tree of life, it pretty much open up your consciousness. You become more aware of your environment, of what's taking place, and it also gives you more power over your life. Now, the part that I want to talk about is the fruit of life, meaning once you start eating from the fruit of life, I mean from the tree of life, the fruit is the labor. It's what you've become, the side effect of that knowledge, because that knowledge will pretty much bear fruit into your life, meaning, the way you would see things, the way you would manage your emotion. Do you see what I'm saying? So those would be, the fruit that you get from understanding or from nourishing yourself from the tree of life, right? So in the Bible, for example, they talk about the fruit of the spirit, which is pretty much the same thing when we talk about the fruit of life. They talk about pretty much. So if you guys follow any of my past videos where I talk about the true self and the fake self, the benefit of the true self. So those benefits are actually the fruit of life. You become that person. You become that non-judgmental person, because now, life is not about competition. I'm doing me. My purpose is for me to be the best version of me. So as you're doing so and you understand that, so you're not competing with anybody, or you're not even becoming a people pleaser at this point, because now your life is your life, your responsibility. It's what you came here to do. So I'm saying this to say, so those would be the fruit of the spirit, right? Because we're calling it a spirit because now we're tapping into the non-physical side of ourselves, and then it expand our consciousness. Now we become a different person, and that's what being born again pretty much is all about. But most importantly, as you following that path, or as you aligning yourself with, nourishing yourself from the tree of life, now you've become a new person. There's no competition. You become lovable. It's love. Now you truly love people. You accept, because you accept people as who they are instead of what they are. So therefore, you truly have compassion once you understand that. So if you truly want to be good looking, in so many words, what I'm saying is you have to be born of the spirit, meaning, you eating from the tree of life, but most importantly, you align yourself with your true self. See, this is all connected. But I wanted to talk about the fruit from eating from the tree of life, or the fruit of life. So once you really, because the whole thing also is that you got to become the knowledge, but you can only become the knowledge by being devoted to it. It takes dedication, hard work, transformation, your whole what do you call that? Shadow work. But the fruit of it, it's my God. That's when you become godlike. Meaning you truly love people for who they are. You're not afraid of loving, nor are you afraid of letting people come close to you. Now you're becoming a little more down to earth. Now you're able to, look at, not blowing smoke out of your ass, in so many words. Now it's not statuses anymore, but it's more like on a personal level. The benefit from understanding the tree of life is that it open up your mind. And that's why there's no competition. There's no, you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. They say, if it wasn't for poor people, right, rich people would have to eat their money. Do you know what I'm saying? So, in so many words, when you start seeing things on a bigger scale, then everybody's important. And that's why you don't judge. But just like that tree, you understand there's many different components to it. Like, I'm pretty sure if any one of you ever been to a supermarket, you know what I'm saying? Got some meat, got some chicken, niggas, the chicken, right? Somebody had to kill it. Somebody had to slice it up. Even though you paying for it, you don't see that person. But yeah, they actually killed them. I mean, if you not into meat, whatever, but get the point of what I'm saying. You buying your oranges. You go to the supermarket, you go to Walmart. Somebody had to, somebody had to get it for you. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying this to say, the fruit of life, once you start to understand, seeing the bigger picture, how we are pretty much interdependent. We all need each other. Do you see what I'm saying? Then you start looking at life differently. Then you're also going to have more compassion. Compassion, because now you would understand that, people can only see or can only understand what their mind accept. In other words, I'm saying sorry, people can only understand what they see, or can only hear what they understand. However you want to put it. You know what I'm saying? Is actually the same results. But I'm saying all of that to talk about pretty much the side effect. That will be the fruit, the side effect of becoming spiritual or eating from the tree of life. That's when you become humble. Like I think the Bible talk about the seven. I don't know if it's seven or not, but they talk about love, forgiveness. Here you go again. You will be able to forgive other people or not taking things too personal because now you understand, just like I was talking about, if someone can only hear what they understand. So even if they do anything to you or if they say anything, it's going to be based on their understanding. That's where they are. But most importantly, as they say, um you cannot teach a man how to see anything or how to do anything. You can only show him how to see it in himself. In other words, I can't make you understand what I'm saying here. Depending on where you are, if you're, I can only show you these things for you to see, for you to realize them. Hopefully, when I'm talking about the bigger picture, expanding your consciousness, that we are all interdependent. We all need each other. There's no competition. I mean, obviously, you guys created it, but in true life, even somebody that does the same thing as you, it's never going to be the same. It's never going to be the same. And because of that result, it allows you to become more of yourself now and become non-judgmental too. Do you see what I'm saying? So those are the fruit. Like, and guess what? You're not going to be envy of anybody. Why would you be envy of anybody? Knowing that everybody has their own shit. Now, your whole point or your purpose should be for you to be your best version, the best version of your motherfucking self. You see what I'm saying? So those are the benefit of becoming godlike, man. Becoming like a earth angel. Or becoming good looking, man. What are you doing out here? Do you see what I'm saying? So, but the flip side of that too, if you're eating from the tree of good and evil, meaning you're looking at good and bad, not looking at the gray area, everything has to be perfect. Guess what? It's gonna be chaotic. Oh, that has its own fruit too. That's when you start judging other people based on their accomplishment. You're not really looking at the person for who they are, but their statuses. Of course, now you have to compete, and then now you're not gonna know how to be yourself. And guess what? You for sure cannot love anybody. Everything, if you're looking to get into a relationship, now it's more like it's statuses, and that's how relationship now is being discussed because you're eating from the tree of good and evil. And it's crazy, and you won't even be able to love anybody because you got to be perfect. You wouldn't allow anybody to see the weakness in you because you don't know how to be you. The whole shit is fucking crazy, and that's what we're seeing in our society. And that's how people are getting married, not because they love each other, because of that status. It looks good. It's stable. It's all of that bullshit. And that's why, like, and kids are being born into that shit. It's all bullshit, man. Total bullshit. Because you eating from that shit. Now you envy of other people. It's the whole bullshit. Now you don't see how you are depending on other people but yourself. Because now it's all about your fucking accomplishment. Guess what? You wouldn't think about the mother, like, just like I said, rich people cannot eat their money. Somebody got to make the food. You see what I'm saying? And you wouldn't be looking down on anybody either. So it's like it's like on one hand you've been a fucking monster. heartless. Now you know the price of everything, but you have no values. It's just crazy. Nowadays, everybody's talking about Gucci and all that shit. You know the prices for everything, but no values. It's pretty much trash too, man. Like that's what being trash is. Like a lot of people always wonder about, is there a life after death? But the real question is, are you alive right now before you die? Do you see what I'm saying? Are you being, jeez. That's exactly what it is. Are you being alive right now before you die? Because there's no death, it's only a transformation. So that's what the real question is. So even though I wanted to talk about the fruit of life, but it's also necessary. You see, there you go. That's when the yin and yang goes too. I mean, I can't really talk about just the fruit of life, not talking about the fruit of good and evil, and the understanding behind the good and evil. That's where the false self comes in. It's that limited perspective where things has to be either perfect or good or bad. And from that perspective, now you want to be good. You're not accepting the bad that comes in life. Because in life, the bad aren't too bad because you grow from your bad. I mean, you actually grow from your mistakes. If anybody has never made it, if you have never made any type of fucking mistake, that's because you haven't tried anything. From the time you learn how to walk, you've been making mistakes. So, even, and here's something else too. Even the people that are always talking about positivity, you can't just be all fucking positive. It doesn't make fucking sense at all. Now, positivity, what we're talking about here, I mean, you can talk about positivity, but by including negativity in it. So we're talking about the overall picture. Now, just like I talk about, you make mistakes, but you grow from your mistake. So overall, we're talking about a positivity in that sense, but not just like everything just positive, like there's no negative. Like that shit doesn't make no fucking sense. And that's why, again, you got to watch out from the person, like the ones, the more perfect they look on the outside, run. Run, because they're not in touch with themselves. They're going by a fucking image. And sooner or later, once you get to know that other side of them, jeez, it's crazy. So, and either we talk about the tree of life or we talk about the tree of good and evil. They are part of our life. That's why spirituality cannot be dissociate. You can't dissociate spirituality from your life. It's just a matter of you may not be aware of your whole person, meaning you don't embrace that other side of yourself. You just go by the physical side. Some of you could be looking at it, this nigga's bullshit. I only go by what I see, nigga. Fuck everything else. Yeah. And that's what the limited perspective is. You see what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck can you explain like a tree, or I mean, not just a tree, but what I'm trying to say is when you look at life, your environment, nature, it grows. What's that active shit behind it that's making it grow? Us as as becoming from a baby, there's other part of us. It's a big mistake to look at yourself as just a physical person because there are so many different aspects of you, your emotions. You can't even touch it. Yet it plays a big part of on the person that you are, because your emotions shape your life. If you always have anxiety, and it shapes your life. You become that stuck up person. But the more open you are, the more happy you are, the more welcome you are to other people. So your world is a little more open. So I'm saying this to say, here's something that you're not even able to touch, but that's shaping your life. So to view yourself as just a physical person, you're just, hey, all right. You know what I'm saying? So again, I mean, it's not. I mean, I think for me, that's why I want to make spirituality cool, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers always look at it, or the niggas that you see that talks about spirituality, they have those cloth wrapped around their ass and shit. Niggas be sitting like this, or it would. I mean, respectfully, I mean, I get it. They're making a statement. I get it. But you don't really have to do none of that. That's your birthright. You or that right here, right now. Just a matter of you acknowledging that side of you, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to be walking around like, saying all that. Hey, listen, it definitely has its place, and I understand it and I respect it. I'm not trying to downplay it. But what I'm trying to say also is that that is not the determining factor for you to be spiritual, because it's you already that. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So let's make spirituality cool, man. Not just spirituality. Again, that's why for me I don't dissociate it from life, because it's part of you, man. It's part of the life that you're living right now. You see what I'm saying? So again, so I just pretty much wanted to talk about a little bit about the side effect of, because our emotions shape our lives. Your understanding shape your life too. The more close minded you are, obviously, as you know better, you do better. That's what the definition is. So therefore, when you open your mind more, you expand your consciousness more, the more of a person you become. Because now your world is, you have opened up your world. You become sociable, able to talk to other people, expressing your feelings. Because a lot of you guys, man, it's a little bit tough. Woo! And pretty much, man, you know, that's why our lives, in so many words, are it's so fucking chaotic too. You know what I'm saying? This is a mental institution on earth, man. So let's be sane. Again, I just wanted to share this with you guys here. That's it. Let me see if I have any announcement. Oh, I do have another video coming up tomorrow. I wanted to give you guys one last tip on how to align yourself to, on how to pretty much align to your true self. And eating from the tree of life, it's a must. It's a must, because it makes you become a cool person, dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, relax, man. You know what I'm saying? So you're becoming more open minded and more receptive to other people, despite of their differences too. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like people that are racist or closed minded, well, not necessarily racist. I'm just gonna drop that one. Yeah, that was a hot topic. So, whew, drop it like it's hot, baby. So, but to get back to what I was saying, pretty much like, the more you expand your mind, the more of a better person you actually become. You know what it's like to actually communicate, you know, and I'm saying effectively, not, throwing some shit at somebody, or, because you just don't know how to verbally express, being in touch with your emotions, or better yet, to master your emotions. Do you see what I'm saying? So all of that, it's part of life, and also to get back to what I was talking about before, or non-physical aspect of you, but that shapes your life like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So much so that's why you got to go in, and that's another reason too. As cliche as this shit may sound, that's why you have to do everything for yourself before you can do it for somebody else. Because what you're doing when you do it to yourself is you are opening yourself more to it. Now you can help somebody else to do it. Because the idea, here's something else you guys got to understand too, man. Oh shit, I'm trying to give you all the combination to the safe, man. Because I deciphered the grand design. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what fuck was I talking about? Yeah, I think I was talking about the more you do it for yourself. Like when two people fall in love, this is what you guys got to understand. They don't only surrender, like they don't even surrender to each other, but they surrender to love. So it's like one person know that they want to be loved and open up themselves to love, and the other person does the same thing. And as they do that, that's how they come together. They become one. But as they become one, they still maintain their individuality. When you see immature people fall in love, this is what they do, right? They destroy each other's freedom. They create fucking like a bondage. It's pretty much hell. They create a prison. When immature people fall in love, because now if you can't be too free, because if you become too free, you're not giving me attention, you don't love me. Do you see what I'm saying? So they pretty much create a prison, and that prison, that's what they call love. They there's no freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's like they gotta devote them. I mean, you do devote yourself to that other person, but the true self, the self that accept the other person as they are, because to truly love somebody is to see them as God intended them to be. Oh shit, I'm talking some shit. See, I can talk proper sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too much of a nigga. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. So that's why in so many words, man, you got to open up yourself first. It starts with you. I know it sounds cliche. I know for me personally, I used to hate this shit, man. Like, what the fuck? And now here I am saying that shit all the time. God be funny sometimes, man. You're like, all right, nigga, you're gonna be saying that shit all, the rest of your life, and that shit is true, just like I said. Because when you work on yourself first, because what that does is it open up your world. The more stubborn you are, the more closed off you are. How you gonna open up to somebody else? Like they say, for you to actually receive, you have to open your arm, right? I mean your hand, not your arm. I'm tripping. Or for you to catch anything, for you to take anything, you have to open your arm. I mean your hand. Meaning, there's something that has to be done in you first. That's why you got to go in first before you do anything else. You see what I'm saying? So and once you understand that too, that's when you become non-judgmental too. Not because you're trying to be nice. Nah, nigga, because it is a fact. That's why when you become spiritual, the mythical shit that people are talking about, you become that. You know, the best way to do anything is to be. You have to become the champ. You have to become that person. And how the fuck did I say it? Whatever the fuck I just said, right? Or the best way to be I mean, to do is to be, meaning it's all related to you got to go in first, right? But anyway, if we go back to as you're going in, then now we're talking about the fruit of life, the fruit of that understanding, the effect, the side effect of you aligning yourself with your true self, but most importantly, from eating from the tree of life. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's kind of it's kind of like you shit what you eat, right? There you go. You know, if you didn't eat mango, nigga, like, you're not gonna shit mango. That's just the way it goes. So the shit is the consequence or the effect of what you ate, right? So it's the same thing. So when we talk about the fruit of life, and that's why you need to become that because, as you can see, in so many words, if you truly want to talk about good and bad, that's truly what good and bad is. Good is to eat from the tree of life, and bad is to eat from the true. You know what I'm saying? It's in so many words, it's to become your false self. That's when all that shit is all. It's all chaos. It's chaos, man. It's it's beyond me. you know. But with that being said, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. It's been a pleasure. L'esprit, eat your food. I do have the Patreon coming up soon. Um, I mean, very soon. I think the latest should be by Tuesday. Become a member of the tribe. There's a lot for us to talk about. Because the main thing that I want to do with it, I actually want to allow people to become more devoted to themselves. But most importantly, I'm going to have a lot of resources, book recommendations, a lot of other videos. It's being worked on now. I'm uploading a lot of videos right now at the moment. And also, there's going to be a few topics that I will expand a little bit more, because, obviously this is YouTube or the gram. I can't really go beyond. I mean, I could go over like an hour, but it would be different, when you come on that other side, because now it would be, you'll be seeking for that. Do you see what I'm saying? Whereas pretty much here we're talking about, a couple of things, and so let's build a community. Let's uh let's transform, man. Let's make ourselves better so we can make the world a better place. As cliche it may sound, even though the purpose is not, it doesn't matter, but I strongly believe not just to say making the world a better place, but starting with you. So let's start on you first, and then we'll talk about, the world. How about that? Because you are the world, so why not starting with you any fucking way? Or starting with you, the world's already a better place. So with that being said, I'm not against the idea of the world, but how do you get there? You got to go through you first. You see what I'm saying? So let's get through you, man. Let's talk about you. Okay? So with that being said, I share my leg. Bra.